The time you got to ask yourself, are we ever going to be done talking about Star Trek 5? I had intended to do Star Trek 5. This is the card I found. I have a lot more to say and do about Star Trek 5. My grand intentions were to just go through all the Star Trek movies, but this demands discussion. But one of these days I need to read Shatner's book about Star Trek 5. It's called, because it's called Captain's Log, William Shatner's personal account of the making of Star Trek 5, told by Elizabeth Shatner. So there we go. We'll look into this soon, but I'm just going to do this. So here's my 2 cents on Star Trek 5. Because of Star Trek 5, the thought was this movie was so bad in 1989. It came out like a week before Batman or something. I remember it. I lived through it. It's the first movie I saw that made me question movies or characters that I had put a lot of faith into. I just could not believe that this was happening, and in my mind I couldn't get over the brainwashing that took place in the movie, because surely the crew wouldn't let Cybok brain it screwed with my head at the time. I could not believe this was happening to these characters, that they would be taken over like this. And that only Shatner-Kirk, because in this movie it's Shatner-Kirk. It's not Kirk, it's Shatner-Kirk. It's Shatner's idea of what Kirk should be as the last man standing, the only one willing to hold on to his pain, to plenty to explore later on about this. But there's so much going on with Star Trek 5 as I look at it over the years, given how horrible most of the Trek movies have been since Star Trek 5. This is almost like a flawed masterpiece now, unfortunately. With a few exceptions of movies that came after, and we don't even, the majority of Trek movies are awful. Well, Star Trek 6 was good. No, I'm going to have to go through this list. 7 doesn't want to, but anyway, I mean, it starts. This movie had so much. I remember going to see it. I'm going to finish the sentence. Just stick with me. The Jerry Goldsmith music comes on, and you're like, yes, here's the, and wow, this is awesome. And then he's climbing a rock because it's there, and Spock comes up with the boots, and here it is. Here's the quote from the card. I'm doing this because great, and that's it. And I have nothing to say about the card. And then there's McCoy, this hamming it up as McCoy, as a almost D. Kelly's doing a parody of D. Kelly doing McCoy. And he's nervous, but the Ascot is just a thing of beauty here. And he's and I guess we see more of McCoy as a character here than in any other movie, because we learned something about him for the first time, that he had to pull the plug on his father. Beyond the no, that wasn't Man Trap. No, nothing comes to mind that says anything about McCoy's personal life. Oh, the Nancy Crater stuff. Okay, that was McCoy, right? So that's Man Trap. That's the very first broadcast episode where we learn a little bit about McCoy. We learn nothing else about McCoy. We know he's a nervous wreck all the time, that he had a beard for a while and he loved to wear medallions, and he's an old crotchety guy. And this is the only movie where he has a personality. Those are my quick takes on Star Trek 5 based on this card that I randomly picked up behind me, because I haven't done these shows in a while. So share your thoughts on Star Trek 5. I will continue. I might do a more orderly show on Star Trek 5. I still intend to do Star Trek 2 overviews with the cards, but this just called to me today. And my lasting impressions, I have more lasting impressions Star Trek 5. Here's a general outline I want to get to. I think it's very much an anti-psychiatric movie, where it's Shatner's attitudes towards psychology, in particular, that this movie embraces. So it's a criticism of that. There's also the obvious religious cult stuff to it, but at the same time, one religious cult in particular stands out that was very much against psychology and continues to be, that will remain unnamed. But that's an angle we can continue to explore. Okay, I've taken up more than enough of anyone's time, including my own. But, just getting back out there, been busy for the two people that kind of watch this. But have a day.